Hello, my loves. Welcome or welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I'm Monica, the Kismet Chemist. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Welcome to the family. It's an honor to have you. If you're returning, welcome back. I have missed you. My loves, we have this it's a simplified yet intense reading today where we are getting messages about the 999 portals occurring in September. So this is actually coming out on the first of the 3 portals. So a 999 portal is occurring in September in a 9-year. So 2025 is a 9-year. 2 + 2 + 5 is 9, which is a year of completion, spiritual awakening, closures. There's a lot of energy right now that is occurring in the cosmos that is really helping us to understand deeper truths about ourselves, deeper truths about the world, and about our place in the world, helping us to awaken to different levels of our spiritual selves, physical selves, and our authentic self through the pains, through the struggles, through the blessings, through all of it. There will always come a time where we understand that for every new beginning, we must close a door. There must inevitably be some form of an ending. Whether that is a permanent ending or it's a closure of a chapter to move on to the next chapter in our story, it's different for all of us. But the process is still the same. We go in this cycle of new beginning and experience, and then it's just like the Fool's Journey. We go through all of these steps and we reach the end, that world card, that closure point, and we go right back into that Fool energy and time to take another leap, whether it's a leap into something completely new or it's a leap into a new phase, a new ascending energy, a new awakening, a new connection, what have you. We still go through the same process. So this reading is about the 3 portals that we have offered to us through the month of September, about the closures, about the completions, and then we are actually going to consult the Kitchen Witch Oracle to see what help we can actually utilize with physical items in the world to help us essentially in this closure energy so that we can feel that sense of completion, that sense of assurance in where we are, where we've come from, and where we're going. So we do have 4 piles. Each of the piles, I've already pre-shuffled all of the cards because I am trying to kind of get myself ahead of the game with my readings for the sake that I am going into surgery soon. And I want to make sure that I get the messages that have been waiting for me to film through before I go into surgery. So we do have 4 piles. I'm going to go ahead and put on some meditation music. I'm going to put on some nature sounds and give you guys some time with the cards, time with your guides, and time with your higher self so that you can get into the flow of the energy, so that you can get into the flow of the portals and allow yourself to be led by your intuition, guided towards the pile or piles with messages for you. Timestamps will be in the description box below, and I will see you at your piles. Hello, pile one. If you chose the first card, this is your message about the 999 portals in September of 2025 and how they are helping you through closure and completion. So the theme of the energies, we have the card number 17 with courage. It says, by shining brave and true and bright, my courage now returns this night. We go through a lot of things in life, and as we go through these things, we get knocked down. We get the wind knocked out of us. We have these dreams and these hopes and these wishes. We have this faith in ourselves, whether it's because somebody has taught us to have that faith in ourselves or because we've learned how to believe in ourselves through the resilience that we've had to have through all of the struggles and traumas and tribulations of life. At some point in that journey, we can get knocked down so far and so fast and so hard that we don't even have any idea what courage really means anymore. When I see the number 17, I think about the star card in the major arcana deck, or the major arcana of the tarot deck, and that is Aquarius energy. But when you reduce a 17 down, you get the number 8, which brings us to the strength card. It brings us to Leo energy. It brings us to the energy of courage and what we have to face in order to really own our own bravery, own our own courageous spirit. I don't know how many of you are mythology buffs. I'm a huge mythology buff, but particularly the mythology that surrounds the zodiac because of my affinity for astrology and me being a practicing astrologer. The lion from the zodiac out in the cosmos is the Nemean lion. And that animal was immortalized in the night sky to remind us of the story of when Heracles fought the lion. The Nemean lion was tormenting the area, stealing young girls, and everybody feared the lion was killing them. But the lion had hide that no weapon could penetrate. And it was one of Heracles' 12 tasks to go and face and defeat the Nemean lion. One might say that Heracles was literally set up to fail, which is true. Hera was aiming at failure for Heracles, not because Heracles or Hercules, as many know him through the Roman mythology, not because he did anything wrong, but rather because he existed. His very existence was painful for her to behold, whether it was, and this was, Hera is also known as Juno. It's Jupiter or Zeus's wife. The trick that defeated the lion, it was not a weapon of any sort. For if you remember, no weapon could penetrate the lion's hide. What it was the lion's own fear. Heracles or Hercules cornered the lion in its own den, in its own cave, in the dark, and brought it to its knees through fear. That fear is what made the lion retreat. It's what brought the lion into the trap. It's why the lion was able to be defeated, eventually being choked out. The only thing that was able to penetrate the lion's hide was its own claw. which Heracles or Hercules used in order to remove the hide to create an impenetrable skin to wear moving forward. The honor and the sacrifice of the lion in Heracles or Hercules' victory led the gods to immortalizing. But that's the key to this, is recognizing where our courage comes from. Now, the star card talks about enlightenment. It talks about hope, revelation, healing, the flow of the waters of life, of being bigger than oneself, of recognizing our own divinity and stepping forward into that in our life. It is courage in physical form because of unity of self. And so when we think about that, when we've lost hope, oftentimes we lose hope because we are so fearful of being defeated. But if we realize that the only way to defeat us is by letting fear win, that's when that call for courage comes in. It's up to us to grab hold of it, to embody it, to wear it like an impenetrable hide, that courage, that bravery. Sometimes we must let go of things in order to remember who we are and our own strength, our own resilience, to move forward with courage. Oh, I looked at the courage card and I literally saw the figure on it move, as though you could move in just one moment in the blink of an eye. So let's see this. On this side, this is your closure area. This is your completion area. And then this is the Kitchen Witch Oracle to give you a little bit of guidance moving forward. Now, I want to remind you guys that we do have the 999 portal 3 times in the month of September. We have the first one, which is 999, the day that this premieres. The second one is 918. And the third is 927. As we move through these portals, when we come to the final one, it's about the shedding of the things that we must shed. So we have the closure, the completion, and then the healing. It matters not what order you go in doing this, but the call right now for you is to engage in this. If you're watching this after September of 2025, don't worry. This is more about you reflecting back. That's for someone here. So let's take a look at the closure area. We have the 8 of Wands. Have some of you been seeing hawks or falcons? Yeah, falcons is coming through even stronger than hawk. And then we have anomaly. Ah, I get that. So when I looked at the 8 of Wands, I looked at, when I saw the hawk, I started thinking about the fact that I've been seeing hawks a lot lately, but it has been very abnormal the way that I've been seeing them, because they have been normally when I see a hawk, it's in the sky, it's circling around, it's on the hunt. But over the past, I would say month probably, I've been seeing hawks landed by the roadside, whether it's on a sign or on a fence. I saw one in town on a fence. Very abnormal, very unusual, quite the anomaly. It's something you wouldn't expect. Now, for you, this is recognizing, because the 8 of Wands is all about that quick action. When a hawk goes to dive for its prey, it moves rapidly. That's also why I was getting the falcon, because a falcon, you blink and you miss it. Something in your life in the past moved very, very quickly. That is what the 8 of Wands card is all about. That rapid movement, rapid change, rapid inspiration, anything. When we hit a point where things are moving so fast and very out of the norm, And then all of a sudden everything slows down and it's kind of like, well, what is the normalcy here? Normalcy here. Wow. Normalcy here. My apologies, guys. What really is normal? What is the anomaly? Is the rapid movement, is the rapid progress the anomaly? So I moved forward really fast. I did all of this really fast. I moved from here to here really fast, or all of this changed so rapidly. I blinked and it was done. Is that the anomaly? Or is the slowed down period the anomaly? And the problem with that question really is in the perception and the experience of the two different phases. In a rapid progression, a rapid movement phase, a lot happens very quickly. And then when we get into that slowdown phase, it can feel like nothing happens ever. And one can feel like it is more enduring than the other. Why? Because one of them changes super fast and the other one has to take its time. But does that mean that one is rare in comparison? When we look at something, a phase, a cycle, an experience, as though it's an anomaly, it came, it hit, it was great, but we're never going to see it again because it was so rare, it just happened. We minimize magic in our life. We minimize our experience of anything, anywhere similar to that in our life. One of the problems that I have is very similar to this. So I have this kind of retrospective brainwave problem where I will ruminate on the past and be like, I really miss how I felt when I was doing X, Y, and Z. And I will glorify it or rose-colored glasses it. It's like graduation goggles. And I have to remind myself, Monica, hold on. You're looking at this with graduation goggles. You wear rose-colored glasses this whole entire experience. Think about how hard it was, how exhausting it was, how much energy it took from you. Think about how you felt when that phase is over, how depleted, exhausted. We look at certain things in certain lights, and we do that because we're not in it anymore. So we can either vilify something or glorify something. It just depends on how we choose to view it. The only real anomaly is you. Because of your uniqueness, you're the anomaly. So what's calling for closure here is recognizing that every phase exists exactly as it is, but they continue to occur. There is no unique, this was only going to happen once. That's not how it works in this life. It really isn't. If you think about any pattern that has occurred in your life, do you think that pattern is completely over? Even if we have healed some negative toxic patterns, that doesn't mean that the benefits, the positive aspects of that pattern won't repeat. We just don't engage in it the same way. So there's nothing that is quite so much as that anomaly. And in recognizing that, then we can see, oh my gosh, now I can move forward knowing that whatever I engaged in here, as long as I have healed, I get to experience it again in a new way, in a new form, but I still get to feel all the feelings. If I haven't healed it yet, then I get to experience it quite similarly to the way that I did. And at least I get to say, okay, now I'm learning more. I'm going deeper. I'm expanding beyond it. I'm seeing things from a multitude of angles. Why? So that I can actually engage fully in life. So I can recognize the moments as they are and know that I don't have to push myself and I don't have to fear losing something. So I don't have to cling to it. I don't have to allow that fear to control me. I can close that chapter of fear in the driver's seat and say, I'm taking the driver's seat. Fear, I get that you need to be here because it's part of the human experience, but you can get in the back seat. You can shut up. I know my way and I understand why you're here. You're here to teach me what matters to me. Thank you for that. But I am ready to move forward in this way. And so we're closing down this ideation that we can't experience all the greatness of life. We can't move rapidly from this pain and this anguish and this feeling as though we're being attacked. We can't move out of it really quickly because we did it once before and that was the only time. No, we get to repeat these things. An anomaly exists, but it doesn't stop existing just because you recognize the anomaly. Its existence continues. So no matter which way you perceive it, the closure point here that you're really being called to is to recognize that something will always exist as it is, and it is that way because of how you perceive it, if that makes sense. I don't really... Your guides are like, that's good. We're good. All right. This is like if I keep going, I'm going to be beating a dead horse. And the message you understand for yourself. If you don't, it's either not the right message for you or your guides will help you with it. So let's look at completion. What have you gone through that you're completing now? Oh, I get a success energy. Look, we've got Queen of Wands. Yeah, absolutely. And illusion. I love this. No, this does not mean that the Queen of Wands is an illusion. Look, it's the lion. What is being completed is the illusion that you do not have power. The illusion that someone else is going to come and take from you, that the universe is going to take from you. Look, we've got a crow here holding a wand in its beak. And so there's the perception that if that wand gets taken, if that crow takes the wand, then the power is gone. But that's not true. Look, the crown exists in an immortalized manner. It is up in the cosmos. That means that nothing of the physical world can be taken because what exists, that power, that magic exists in the spiritual realm. It exists above and beyond anything that anyone could try to take. This world can't take from you what is yours by divine right. So it's time for you to recognize the illusion of which fear is weaving. And that illusion really is that you don't have any power, that you're just squawking to yourself. You're just speaking to yourself. That's the illusion. The illusion here is saying that you're not who you are, but you are that person. And so what you're completing is this phase of which you're willing to look at the illusions of other people or the illusions of your fear. You're willing to even entertain the ideation that your magic and your power and your inspiration and destiny and fate and purpose and path in this world could ever be taken from you. You're no longer entertaining those illusions, and that's why it's coming to a completion. Because in order to really understand the nature of which illusions present themselves, we have to engage with them. And once we disengage from the illusion and we recognize the truth of our power, now is the time where we get to move in to the next phase of our life with courage, conviction, and absolute certainty. That bravery, that the hide that I wear is impenetrable by the weaponization of other people's ideations or the weaponization of fear against me, because I have seen the illusion. I've looked at face to face and it no longer holds any power over me because I recognize where my power comes from. And my power comes from my heart, from my soul, from my higher self. It comes from a place and a power and a source greater than anything that fear could even fathom or try to create. It comes from unconditional love. That is where my power and my purpose come from. And therefore, I no longer have to engage with the illusions because I recognize them for what they are. And that is huge, pile one. That's absolutely huge. So this 9/9 portal is huge for you because you're recognizing all of the ways that you get to continue to engage in life and the ways that fear wove certain things into what appeared to be reality, but really was just the fabric of an illusion, now is fading away. So let's get this Kitchen Witch Oracle, the guidance, and I will look up in the book and show it to you guys if you want a screenshot what it suggests that you do. So here we go. We have number 19, welcoming autumn simmer pot. First of all, I love this because simmer pots are my absolute favorite. I cannot wait to do my Mabon simmer pots. Even laid up with my ankle, I know I'll be able to do it because I've got some awesome kiddos who really help with that. But simmer pots are absolutely incredible. It says, I am in harmony with the seasons, embracing their lessons and blessings. This is really talking a lot about this closure for you. It is talking about recognizing that there are cycles every year. The way that Mother Nature works in the seasons and the cycles, the moon in the seasons and the cycles, so too do we. Therefore, the anomalies that exist will continue to exist, but they exist in different forms throughout the different cycles and lessons, but nothing is ever lost. You've not lost it. I don't know what it is for you, but that's what I'm getting. You have not lost it. All right. So we have the welcoming simmer pot. This recipe is a great one for manifesting a feeling of plenty within your household at any time of the year, but it is particularly potent during the harvest or autumn months. Spritz or drizzle the potion outside your doors and windows to welcome abundance into your home. So let's see, I think, it's just this page. So here are the ingredients and the instructions. And you can change things around if you want. If you, instead of, say, pear rounds, you can use citrus. So you can do a cleansing and abundance. You can use pumpkin. Pumpkin is really great for prosperity. I really like to use cinnamon and nutmeg and ginger. I love ginger. It has that very warm feeling to it. So if you can't get all of these ingredients, you can supplement them. Let yourself be led if you feel so called to doing a simmer pot. As I said before, I strongly recommend them. I absolutely love my simmer pots. And so with that, my loves, my darling, amazing pile ones, this is the message that I have for you for the 999 portals this September. I want to take this time to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your resilience, for your willingness to continue to move forward, to face the illusions, to face the fears, to face the battles, to face the predators and the prey. Thank you so much. Thank you to your guides, my guides, the Great Spirit, for facilitating the connection between our energies and allowing these messages to flow through to reach all those they are meant for. May the collective of Pile 1 be uplifted. May they feel that courageous spirit within them, and may they move boldly and bravely forward into their next phase. Thank you for allowing me to be the messenger. Thank you. Pile 1, if this resonated and you'd like to support my channel, super cool. You guys can do those YouTube things, like, comment, share, subscribe. You guys can interact with my channel via the community page as well. You guys can go ahead and do whatever posting you want to do. I welcome any and all interactions. It does help my channel grow, but it also helps me connect to you guys even more. And you guys are my family. So without further ado, I leave you here and I can't wait to see you at my next reading. I love you all. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose the second card, this is your message about the 999 portal. what you are going through as far as closures, what things you are going through for completion, what you're cleansing out of your life. So as you guys can tell, I have a Palo Santo here. I did put the timestamp for a little bit after when your pile actually started, just for the sake that if some of you are wondering kind of, I feel like I need to be very delicate for some reason. If some of you are wondering, if you just want a little bit of insight into the energy and how this energy opened itself up for me to tap into, there's just a small section that shows a little bit of the, I don't want to call it discomfort that I felt, but more like the push and pull energy into bringing forth all the different pieces here. So for instance, unless it is called for in the reading itself, for instance, like my Reiki reading, I usually won't burn Palo Santo in this way. I do most of the cleansing between piles while the energy is transitioning, while your energy is opening up and settling in. There might be some lingering, but for the most part, it's something that tends to be in between off screen. Now, yours is also the only pile where I was called to a crystal, and a very, very specific crystal. And so we're going to get into it, but first I want to tell you what the theme of these closures and completions, the theme of the 999 portals is for you. And it's the card number 4 with beauty. And it says, I have a form which is divine. I allow what is within to shine. So pile 2. First of all, we have 3 999 portals. Because 2025 is a numerological 9 year, and September is the 9th calendar month, each day in September that reduces down to a 9 flows with this same 999 energy. So this is flowing through the entire month of September. Just like last year in August, we had an 888 portal, and there were 3 of them, and there were 3 777 portals, and so on and so forth. And we can keep going back. We do have all 3 of them. The first one is today, or when this premieres. If you're watching it later on, this premieres on September 9th of 2025. And then we have the 18th, which reduces down to a 9, and the 27th, which also reduces down to a 9. And that is when we move through multiple 9s, regardless of where we are on the journey, every time we move through multiple 9s, the reduction will always be 9. It's the rule of 9s. Same as when we are doing any kind of 9 in addition, the other rule of 9, if we are not talking about multiplication, if we're talking about addition, the rule of 9 is disappearing 9s. So 4 plus 9 is 13. It reduces down to 4. So the 9 will disappear, and you'll see that pattern consistently. So this is about recognizing when we are multiplying an area of our life, where we're exponentially growing in an area of our life versus an area where we're trying to add something new into it. Because when we add something new into it, we eliminate, and okay, this makes more sense. Thank you. I was waiting for a way to explain it that isn't like mathematically inclined. When we're on a journey and we're in this closure and completion phase, this 9 energy phase, but we want to introduce something. For instance, I want to introduce a new form of creativity. So the first numerological correspondent to creativity is the number 3. So now I want to add that 3 in. 3 plus 9 equals 12. So now we have the Hanged Man energy. Now we have this pause, this reflection, this gaining of wisdom so that we can add that in. But we move out of the closure phase and all the way back to the 3, to the creation phase. So we can actually determine whether we are trying to exponentially grow, then we can stay in the completion phase and we are just building on top of what we already have. So we're continuing in that exact way. Or we're adding something brand new in, and when we do that, conscious or not, we move ourselves into a kind of move back phase. And then we can get kind of frustrated with that because it's very similar to the analogy of the bow and arrow when we're ready to take off, but we are all of a sudden everything seems to be going backwards. The progress that we've made is now going backwards. It's because we're being pulled back in order to be shot forward. Now, the crystal here. This is a clear quartz crystal. And, sorry, I was turned away from the camera because I wanted to make sure you guys got a good view of it. This is a clear quartz point. And there's this thing that I love to do. I love to go onto Etsy and find bulk sales for clear crystal quartz points. Because oftentimes what I find is within these bulk sales are a lot of what are considered throwaway crystals. They're not high grade. They're not perfectly formed. They don't have the exact right inclusions to make them super rare or anything like that. They may be broken or chipped, have some indication of being an impact stone, or they were amidst invasive other stones that left markings. This one in particular, traditionally, usually, clear quartz have 6 faces, usually. There are other ones, don't want to get too much into the details, but this one, it's broken. And on the bottom, it also doesn't exist because it is the bottom of the crystal. So this is where the top facets are meant to be. The hexagon facets. So let me see if I can pull one up that kind of highlights that. It's a little bit difficult because, like I said, I really do like to get them in bulk. So I'll go with this one. It's not perfect, but so it has the points that come up. Actually, rose quartz is still just a form of quartz. So they tend to look like this. They have 6 points up on top. This one, however, is broken. Why do I love getting the bulk ones like that? First of all, it's like receiving treasure. There's always something new to discover in them. There's beauty that is often overlooked, that is often discounted because it isn't traditional beauty. It isn't mainstream beauty. It isn't this perfect grade AAA plus clear quartz. Instead, some of them have a kind of snowy appearance. Some of them have cuts and scrapes and points in which you can tell they've been hit. Some of them you can see how they have been regrowing themselves. This one is a ghost. Within it, you can see energy trapped, formed within. It's not considered a ghost. I want to say it's a, oh my goodness, I should know this. I want to say it starts with an S. Regardless, I'm going to walk away from that. If it's meant to come forth, it will. Phantom. They're phantoms. It's not an S, it's P. Phantoms, because it has the form of a different crystal or a different energy within it. I've come into ownership, or rather collaboration. I think of it as a collaboration with these beautiful crystals that are considered throwaway crystals because they don't fit into this box of perfection. Pile 2, we can struggle. I want to hug you guys so bad right now. I do. This world that we live in now, this social media driven world, is filled with influencers saying, use this product, use that product, try this, try that. I myself have fallen, I don't want to say fallen victim, but I have fallen influenced, we'll say, to so many different things. I've tried different diet pills. I have tried different supplements. I've tried different fad diets. I've done a multitude of different things in order to try to get my body to fit into a societal standard of beauty. Now, this doesn't mean that this is about makeup or anything like that. This is about you recognizing that no matter which way you come into the world, the way that you present yourself into the world is beautiful. And I keep hearing beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but you're the one who is the beholder. So beauty is about what you perceive it to be. So do you perceive yourself to be beautiful? And you're worthy of seeing that. But it doesn't mean that there aren't times in our life where we get knocked down and we don't age as gracefully as we would like to, or something happens and our bodies respond in the way that they do. You know, we can go through having children, or we can go through a loss and grief. We can just age. Our bodies are intended to change. But the more external influences there are, the more pressure there is to fit into a box of expectation. And when we do that, we get so focused on what we look like on the outside that our inside becomes small and quiet. We talk in the spiritual community about authenticity, about being one's genuine self, about the beauty and the light that we have within ourselves, and about what it's like to shine that light out. We don't often talk about what it's like to shine that light out and have it be rejected. To have it be rejected because the light that we have within ourselves doesn't seem to match the exterior. And so there is that dissonance, and the outside world can be very unkind at times. Pile 2, this is a month, this is a time, this is an energy that asks you to think about beauty standards throughout time, and about how some of the most beautiful things came from the most homely of people. Think about Emily Dickinson. She had this penetrating insight into love and loss and spirituality and the world in very brief snippets with her poetry. And yet she was a recluse. She was agoraphobic. She lived indoors, stayed indoors, never married that we know of. But what she gave to the world was beautiful. That light that she has shone clearly through her work. What you do in the world brings forth your beauty, and your guides and spirit and the cosmos and the universe. And I have the feeling many, many higher selves of many friends and past lovers and so many people that you don't know, they see you in a way that you just simply don't see yourself. They see this beautiful aura that just radiates from you, that no amount of makeup can ever make any more beautiful, because the nature of your true beauty is in the rawness of who you are. Wow. Okay. That was much longer than I thought it would be. Why don't we expand beyond this? Let's move into the closures. Yes, we have the 5 of Cups and bond. Gaining closure doesn't always mean that the result is what we wish it was. Sometimes closure comes because we accept what is versus what we had hoped and prayed. The 5 of Cups, to me, it's that final break before we really get into the emotionality of ourselves. So we go from the Ace of Cups, that new fresh love, to the 2 of Cups, and that's that bond energy, that coming together, that harmony, that love, soulmate energy. And then the 3 of Cups, where we have all our friends and we're celebrating together and we're hanging out and we're having a hell of a good time. And then all of a sudden we're in the 4 of Cups, and there is some sort of loss so great, so profound, so deep, so cutting. We've lost the 3 cups before, and the universe is trying very hard to offer a new cup. But we've already gone through the journey of the Ace of Cups, and we don't want to have to go back. Everything was great, but everything fell apart. And so for me, the 4 of Cups is always the saddest. And the 5 of Cups is that I'm going to get up and I'm going to try. And I tried my best, but those 3 cups, they still were lost. They still were broken. They still were not meant to continue forward. So I have these 2 cups, but what if I lose them? And then we have this moment, this moment where we're like, why? Why is this transpiring again? Why is this repeating? What is it from my past? And it's asking us to think about the way that we feel our emotions. How do we connect to our own heart? What's closing for you is that feeling like I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't take that next step. I have given my heart, my soul, my all into this. I gave everything into this. I chose this. And now it feels like my heart is broken. It feels like my life is broken. It feels like my hopes and my dreams are broken. Why? Because I just wasn't enough. I wasn't enough in this way or that way. I thought that I was. I tried really hard, and then it just fell apart. And pile 2, I'm sorry, but sometimes that's what happens. We don't love in a vacuum. we love in connection. We love in a bond. And sometimes bonds break, whether it's because the other person in the bond leaves or dies or what have you, or if it's because it's just not right for us. It calls for us to allow for a new journey, a new beginning. And in that new beginning, it's calling us to think about when we first loved, or we first had our perception of love, and how that was lost, and how we structure our ability to form bonds from that. So you're closing down this chapter that if you form a bond, you're going to lose it. It's going to break apart. You're going to be left with nothing but you and this feeling of emptiness, where other people are shining really brightly, but you're just here. And that's a really hard phase to be in, because we are a social creature, but also because other people might say that broken is not worth anything. I think it's worth everything. The most profound teachers, leaders, healers in history have been ones who have been considered broken. You're meant to be you, and you're meant to have love and to have wholeness. And when that is shattered, at times it's very hard to continue forward. It's hard to want to move forward because everything just feels so raw. So let's see what you're completing. The Ace of Cups. My goodness. And perspective. This is Hanged Man energy. It's that addition energy. What you're completing is a phase of your life in which you are changing a perspective of love. It's amazing how loss can really structure how we view ourselves and our ability to be loved and to be seen out in the world, and our ability to recognize our own soul's beauty, our own true self and our own true beauty, to recognize our light and the worthiness of shining that. It's amazing how crippling we can feel the pain is within our heart. But when we change our perspective and we recognize how strong it made us, how resilient it made us, and all of the ways that it taught us to love deeper and more entirely, more completely, then we take on a whole new energy, a whole new perspective, a whole new way of being. So this month is your month to recognize how incredible you actually are, the ways in which scars that you carry, whether they're on your heart or soul or your physical body, they shine forth with stories of your resilience, stories of your strength, stories of your beauty, your true beauty. It's a very powerful time for your heart, pile 2. And I am so honored to be the channeler bringing these messages forth. I really am. So let's go ahead and get into this. Wow. Oh, do you know what I just realized? We have 4, 5, and 6 and 8. 4, 5, and 6, 1, 8. Interesting. It's like progress moving forward brings you into closure when you add 1 and 8 together, you have 9. Now you have that completion energy. Wow, this is intense. Okay, let's get your Kitchen Witch Oracle, and then I will pull up whatever ingredients and whatnot the book says. So if you want to engage with this, you can. You don't have to. So we have number 6, Memory Simmer Pot. That's great because when I was tapping into this energy, I couldn't help but feel that energy pulling you towards the 6 of Cups, which is about our memories of the past, but it's seeing our past through the lens of love. And when we see the past through the lens of love, when we have those memories come up, we can reshape so much. We can reshape our perspective on love. So it says, in the whispers of the ancient trees, let my memory be as clear as the babbling streams, grounded in the wisdom of the earth. That is absolutely beautiful. All right, here we go. It says this potion is great for those who are studying or who are concerned that they are not remembering as well as they once did. Once it is cooled, it can be rubbed on your temples and the nape of your neck to help remembrance. Or you can spritz or drizzle the contents outside your doors and windows to welcome memories into your home. So I'm going to go ahead and move this up. All right. Well, pile 2, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. Truly, thank you for being here. I can see that it hasn't been easy, that there has been a lot that has brought you to question yourself more so than anything. And I understand how challenging that is because I'm still going through it myself from time to time in different ways. And that means that I am deeply, profoundly honored to be the channel to bring these messages forth for you. And I pray that through this month of September and the 999 portals, that you do find the closure, that you do find the completion, that you do find the healing, and that you do see your true beauty. I want to take this time to say thank you also to your guides, my guides, and the Great Spirit for facilitating the connection between these energies and allowing these messages to flow through. May they span and spread exponentially outward to all those for the collective of pile 2 who seek awareness and clarity, love and understanding. Thank you. Pile 2, if this resonated and you would like to support my channel, that would be awesome. You can do that with all the YouTube-y things. You can like, comment, share, subscribe. You can comment on my page. Any and all interaction with my page and my readings genuinely help my channel grow. It helps keep me in the algorithm and helps these messages reach all those they are meant for. Together, we help make other people in this world a better place. It's my goal, and I couldn't do it without any of you. It's never expected, but always deeply appreciated, just as you are. All right, pile 2, this is where I leave you. I will see you at my next reading. I love you all. Bye. Hello, my loves. Whoops. Again. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the 3rd pile, this is your message about the 999 portals. So what we have here is the closure energy, the completion energy. This is just a little bit of guidance, something that you can do at home to work with Mother Nature and the abundant blessings that she always provides for us, and really help make this September and the 999 portals really a profound experience, an experience that opens the door that you're looking to open. Pile 3, this is pretty cool. So first of all, I want to give just a little bit more background. There are 3 999 portals this month. It's the day that this comes out, September 9th, and then we have the 18th and the 27th. Each one of these portals offers us an opportunity to tap deeper into these energies, to work through any of the lessons that come up or the emotions that come up, the thoughts, the memories. Everything is here for our growth, for our completion, for you in particular, for you to really step further into a new energy. Not unfamiliar, but still new. So the theme of yours is this card 25, and it says good cheer. With kind heart and humor free, may good cheer rule, so mote it be. And I would move it up so you guys could see it better, except that there's a little bit of nudity, and I know how YouTube feels about that. So to make sure that this reading is able to reach who it's meant for, we're going to just leave it where it's at. Pile 3, I get this sense that you're like, life has been heavy. Shit has hit the fan. Everything has been chaos. I'm ready to laugh. I'm ready for things to just settle down, to calm down, to flow a lot easier. I'm ready for life to stop feeling like I'm in some sort of video game jungle gym, whatever. I'm seeing like Super Mario, where you've got all like the Goombas coming after you, and you're like, I am just sick of jumping up and down at this point. Can I not just like leisurely walk through life? Why is there a hole in the ground? Why do I have to jump over this hole in the ground? Why can't somebody come and fix it? Like, what is going on? I don't want to go down that pipe. I don't know what's down that pipe. Yeah, sure, there might be coins, but you know what? The sun is out and it's really nice out, and I just want to walk leisurely through my life. And that's the kind of energy that I get from you, where it's like, can I just laugh? Can I just experience life in a way that embodies the youthfulness of an inner child, or just stops feeling the heaviness? And I get that because as an empath, the heaviness that exists in the world is pervasive. It's insistent. It's persistent, and it pushes and pushes and pushes. And so I understand wanting a break. And that is the theme of your 999 portals. The theme is you moving into this state of jovialness, of laughing because of the absurdity of so many things. Laughing because sometimes laughter is exactly what our hearts and our minds and our bodies need. Even in the midst of loss or betrayal or pain or whatever, sometimes laughter genuinely is exactly what we need. And we forget that. But laughter is such a beautiful medicine. And that is what I feel like you're moving towards, and the portals are opening to bring you closer to and bring to you. So let's see what you are moving into a closure phase with. We have death, the closure of transformation. Yes, and soar. Okay. You're going through this phase of closing down I'm going to transform, and then I'm going to fly away. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do this constant challenge met, challenge overcome, challenge met, challenge overcome. This energy right here is like, I've been through it all. I've been through the mill. I keep going. I keep going. I keep going. I tried to get away from it, but then it pulls me back in. It's like no matter what, it's the Goombas. No matter what you do, the Goombas keep coming to you. They keep coming at you. Like, can't, Koopa, I think it is. I can't remember his name, but can't you just get a break from it, kind of thing? the closure that you're finding is that you don't have to run from transformation, and transformation doesn't have to hurt. Death doesn't always mean genuine death. Sometimes it is. Sometimes that's exactly what it means. Sometimes we go through phases, and this might apply to some of you. Sometimes we go through phases in which we go through death after death after death because it's teaching us how to live. And those are times that are really incredibly painful. They are painful, they are challenging, and they bring us to the brink of what we are capable of handling at any given point in time in a surplus. Guys, I've been in that position a lot lately, so I do understand it. But you're learning through some sort of either transformation or some sort of death process, whether it's death of another or death of parts of the self, death of a way of living, a way of perceiving yourself. It's as though for a while there you thought that you were the prey running from the predators in all of the thorns, but in reality, you were the predator, and the prey was your fear. The prey was the things holding you back. And so you had to go for it. You really had to go for it. You had to grab it. You had to snatch it so that you could take off, so you could take flight, so your life could take flight. And now you're ready to not have to do that anymore. You're ready to not have to like project yourself into this position and that position and see yourself in these shoes and those shoes. And you're just ready to live. I can't emphasize enough how much the portals are here to help you learn to live your life in just a much lighter, airier kind of way. It's like you've been carrying the weight of somebody else or something else on your shoulders. Not the weight of the world, but of something that you weren't meant to carry for this long. And you finally gave it back to the person or the situation or what have you, gave it to spirit, gave it to the world, whatever it was. And you're like, whoa, this is what it feels like to not carry that. Man, what could I do without carrying that weight, that load anymore? And you're closing down the door of having to carry the weight of somebody else while they take off and you're stuck behind. Okay, let's see what's completing. Yours is like one of the quickest messages. It's almost like a let's go energy. So we have the 3 of Cups and fear. Here it is. What you're completing is this game where you try to befriend your fear instead of overcome it. This game of moving into connections that are built off of fear or trauma bonding or what have you, because your fear tells you that you're going to be alone. Your fear tells you that without this or that social aspect of your life, that everything is pointless. I absolutely love this for you because I feel like at this point, there's just this kind of comical air of like, well, if I'm doing this comedy of errors, I've done it so well that I feel like it's time for me to just laugh, bow, and move off stage. I want to be an underling. I want to watch from the seats and watch somebody else play this role. That I've played the role. I've finished the role. Now I'm done befriending fear. I'm done befriending the things and the people that elicit these wounded responses or that bring forth these wounded projections onto me. I am ready to let my heart soar, to just laugh, to just laugh. Why? Because life is too short. This world is filled with so many people trying to control so many things about so many other people that we just don't even see how comical it is because we're clinging so much to the physical world, to things that we don't take with us. What do we take with us? We take with us the feelings that we have, the joy, the love, the connection, the humor. We take with us the lessons that we learn. But I'm not going to take with me the mansion in the hills. It can stay here. I'll stay in a lowly apartment and I will laugh my ass off at the people who keep fighting to stay in a place that doesn't matter when this is all said and done. And I love this for you, pile 3. I love this for you so much. So we're going to go ahead and move directly into the Kitchen Witch Oracle card. Wow. 31, Home Protection Simmer Pot. There's a lot of I know that we have the Urban Crow Tarot and the matching Guardian of the Night Tarot. But this is a totally different ballpark, different creator, everything, and there's still crows on it. As a celestial child, I am linked to the cosmos, embracing its boundless possibilities and radiating a protective aura over my cherished home. Home is within yourself. So it doesn't matter whether you're in the mansion or the apartment. Home is within yourself, and you are worthy of having it protected, and you are protected. So it says, for added protection for your home environment, this simmer pot offers more potent protective magic. Spritz or drizzle the potion outside your doors and windows to create a strong protective barrier around your home. All right, and here you go. In case you want to screenshot this for you to do this simmer pot. I love simmer pots, FYI. I love them. Pile 3. Your home is your sacred place. You also are sacred. Yes, you've been through it. Yes, this world is heavy. Yes, you can feel that weight. No, you don't have to carry it anymore. And yes, it's time to free yourself from the Goombas, to just stroll along and trust that if a hole is in the ground, it's going to be filled in before you walk that direction, because you've earned it the hard way. Let yourself laugh. Let yourself have fun. This is the time to release all of the weight of it all so that you can feel that freedom. Pile 3, I want to take this time to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for everything that you have gone through that has brought you here. Thank you for going through it all. Thank you to your guides, to my guides, to the Great Spirit for facilitating the connection between our energies, for allowing these messages to flow through so beautifully, so succinctly, so definitively. Thank you so much. Pile 3, it's been an honor and a blessing. I love you guys. I love your energy. I feel like I just got zapped with an energy pill. I feel alive. Thank you so much, because it's so great to engage in energy that makes you feel super excited and super alive, like a puppy dog. I love it. Your energy is great. Don't change. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much again for being here. If you guys want to support my channel, that would be super dope. You can do that by all of those YouTube things. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You guys can go to my channel and put up a post on the community page. Share yourself, share a joke, share something, anything. Any interaction with my page and my videos helps my channel stay in the algorithm. It helps it grow. It helps it reach the people that it's meant to. And it is a collaborative effort that I deeply appreciate. I never expected. It's not anything that you have to do, but it is really awesome when you guys do. So with that being said, pile 3, I love you guys. I'm going to leave you here, and I will see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello, pile 4. If you chose the 4th pile, this is your message about the 999 portal and, portals and what they are bringing forth as far as closure, completion, and guidance moving forward. First of all, there are 399 portals this year for 2025. September 9th, which is the day that this premieres, September 18th, and September 27th. Each one of these is an opportunity for you to take one more step forward into the theme of the portals for you, pile 4. And I say that specifically to you. because your theme is this card. It's the card number 6, and it says, letting go. Allow the wisdom to remain, but the sting I shall never feel again. It can be one of the hardest things, just in general, one of the hardest things that we go through in life, in love, in connection, on the spiritual journey, but just as humans, to allow ourselves to learn to recognize the pain that was caused in the moment, and then to let go, to walk away, to move forward. There's always, or not always, there's this abundance of resources out there that talk about letting go and moving on and sacrifice and all of these things. And it's great to conceptualize and intellectualize these things. It's great because it makes it a lot easier to not have to feel what it actually feels like. But the sting I shall never feel again. Sting is kind of a sugar-coated way of saying it hurts like hell. It's cutting and biting and goes deep. There are times where the wisdom involves us recognizing that just something isn't right for us anymore. And it's not because it doesn't serve us or it isn't in a vibrational match. It's just that it just doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. For whatever reason, we have tried everything under the sun. Collectively, this is a theme of letting go of the things that we keep thinking are what we are supposed to do or what we should do, what we should believe. Letting go of the ways in which we hold on to pain and then we spread it around. Or we keep ourselves connected to a person that can't let go of their pain. And so they push it onto us and we get knocked down and beat down. And letting go is a choice that we make. Sometimes we're in a situation, whether it's with another person or with something in our life, we're in this situation and we're holding on so tightly that nothing can change. And the concept that we have of letting go means that we lose that thing. That thing is gone, done, out of here. That's not always the case. My husband and I used to have a lot of struggles because I am a very spiritual person and he doesn't operate in the same way. And so because I had a specific notion of what it meant to be spiritual and he didn't do those things, in my brain, it meant that we were not meant to be together or that he had to change in order for us to be together. Because if you're on this spiritual journey, this like healing spiritual journey, you know that there is that point of no return. You hit this point where you can't unknow the things that you know. You can't unsee the things that you've seen. You can't unrealize the deep, profound, overwhelming revelations of the nature of the soul and this world and humanity and what we're here to do and all of that. You can't undo it. You get to a point that you cannot undo it. And so it seems as though the people around you have to suit up, get on the train, and come with, or you have to move in different directions. And frankly, I wasn't willing to accept either one as being absolute. That doesn't mean that it didn't cause extreme amounts of pain and stress and anxiety and strain, because two people living on different frequencies together is very stressful. It's very stressful. And if you know, it's one of those things. It took me a long time to realize is that what I needed to do was let go. Let go of the ways in which I was still trying to shelter myself from feeling the pain. So I would react with anger instead of allowing that pain to be seen. No change comes when you don't know what you're doing is harmful. Sometimes the letting go is something that we have to do internally. But letting go is always going to be one of those things that we have to choose for ourselves. It should never be something that you feel obligated to do because someone somewhere says, if you don't do this, then X, Y, and Z. Or that you have to do it because it means that your blessings can't come, or this or that. Please believe me when I say, anytime that I've heard that on a spiritual sense, I have fought back tooth and nail. Because your heart knows what is true. But that doesn't mean that letting go is easy, because we have to face a whole slew of things. Today, here, right now, in this moment, you sitting here with me, we're going to face at least two things. An area of closure and an area of completion. Both of which are here to help you with this letting go process. So let's start with the closure. We have the 10 of Wands and survival. I must fight tooth and nail, beat myself bloody like the salmon going upstream because I must survive. I must survive and I must carry this weight no matter what. This weight is paramount and tantamount to my success and my survival. I will carry the weight of this on my shoulders for the rest of my life, no matter what. That's what you're getting closure on. Sometimes survival isn't worth it. Sometimes fighting to survive is asking you to recognize something within yourself, asking yourself the question, why am I fighting for this? If I attain this, and the result of it is this weight on my shoulders, this stress and anxiety and strain and weight on my shoulders, and all I do is get stuck in survival mode forever. So I just can't ever get out. I'm in constant fear. There's someone always breathing down my neck. This is breathing down, whatever it is. I'm always in survival mode, and the weight of it, the pressure of it is crushing. It is so defeating. Why engage in it anymore? That's what you're coming into a state of closure with. That's what you're ready to let go. The things that you know are just stressing you out. They're not benefiting your life. You're genuinely not benefiting from it at all. It makes you feel a certain kind of way. And these cards are saying it makes you feel like you're trapped and can't breathe and can't move and can't do anything. Let go. Sometimes this is about control. If I can just control enough aspects and areas of my life, I won't have to feel that pain anymore. But when we try to control too many things and things that are genuinely outside of our control, all we're doing is adding pain on top of pain. We're adding pressure and stress and anxiety and expectation, one on top of the next, onto our own shoulders. And we drown ourselves. We get stuck in this survival mode that we aren't meant to be in because we don't know how to let go. Because if I don't control it, then it will hurt me. And that fear can be crippling. It can make it hard to breathe around, hard to see beyond. But when we let go of that fear and we say, okay, it doesn't help me. I'm getting nothing from it. I'm ready to let it go, but I don't know how to do that because I have loved it. I have cared about it. But I don't want to be controlled by it, and I don't want to control it. Now it's about saying, I am ready to move out of survival mode. I am here, I am alive, and I am ready to take ownership of my life. I am ready to step into the leadership role, the mastery role of my life, to step out of this survival mode and move into thriving in my life in a way in which I am happy, which means that there's something in this completion that is helping with the closure. So let's find out. We have the Three of Wands and abundance. Okay. The completion is that you don't have a vision. You don't know which way you're going. You don't know where to go or whether this time frame is ever going to come in, and you want to have this achievement, this success. The 10 of Wands says if you cast a net into the river during the time in which there is abundance of movement, the schools of fish are transitioning. Salmon are swimming upstream. If you cast the net while they are fighting upstream, you catch the fish. If you cast the net while they are not there, and you just sit there and wait and wait and wait, your abundance, it's a misalignment of time. It's thinking that you're ahead of the game or that you're behind the game. But in reality, what this is saying is that you have the ability to move forward into your abundance because you've already learned how to cast the net at the right time by moving out of survival mode. When you're not looking over your shoulder, when you're not carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, when you're not trying to fix everything for everyone, but instead looking at your life and saying, this is what is true for me. This is what feels good. This is what fills my cup up so that I can fill others' cups up with the overflow of it, instead of being in a state of constant depletion and thinking that if I just fill up the right cup, that mine will be filled in return. Instead, you're filling your own cup up first. That's what you're closing out so that you can complete this. I gotta wait for my abundance to come in. You're completing that because you're choosing to let go of trying to define and control and dictate and determine what and when and how and where, and just letting it go. Letting it go. The universe can get clogged up. Energy gets clogged up, but when you let it go and move forward into this kind of understanding that, you know what, it's here, I'm here, I'm here, so it's here. So we exist together, and then you just step into a state of trust. Why? Because you felt the pain of all of the other ways of doing this. The wisdom that is gained from it. The wisdom that's gained from it is, I already know all the ways that it hurts. I already know all the ways it doesn't work. So now I'm ready to let go and I'm ready to move forward. I am ready to move out of survival mode. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to strive and struggle anymore. What I want is to know what the future is because I'm envisioning it and I'm creating it in that moment, and I'm going to have the fullness of my catch. I'm going to have that abundance. I'm going to have that. Why? Because the universe is already bringing it to me, so I don't have to do the work. I've already done the work. And that's the thing. You've done the work. You've gone through all of the lessons and all of the wisdom and all of the pains and all of the sorrows and all of the losses. You've been through the mill. You've gone through the weight, the survival mode, and now you have the wisdom. And all that this portal is helping you do anymore, because you've done all the work, is just hold your hands out and say, I am freaking ready to receive. Lay on my blessings. Lay them on me here because I am open to receiving them. Thank you. That's why we go through the pain. That's why we learn what letting go means for each one of us, and we decide it when it's right, and when we're ready. That's why. So let's get your final oracle card, which is just some guidance for you moving forward, anything that you can do throughout the month of September to help this energy flow and help you move into this letting go stage. We have 24, attracting love sachet. As a keeper of sacred spaces, I safeguard their purity and infuse them with positive energy, drawing in the gentle allure of love. Beautiful. So you might want to do this in alignment with the full moon, which is on the 7th. Okay, let me restate that. Let me pull it up here. Aim for October 6th. It's the full moon in Aries. I am getting a full moon energy, but the reason why I say the one in Aries is because the one in September that is in Pisces occurs on the 7th. So it just feels that way to me. Interesting. Okay. So it says, for those who are single and wanting to bring new romance into their life, this herbal satchel can be carried around in your purse or pocket when going out into the world until you find your true love or they find you. Another alternative that I'm hearing is, if this isn't about attracting love, if you're not single and what have you, this attracting love is attracting a divine love, it's rekindling love in your heart for something that you used to love that has just kind of fallen away. Alternately, this could all be about a relationship. Only you know. So I'm going to move this up for you. And if you want to try this out, you can screenshot that and give it a whirl. All right, pile 4, this is the message that I have for you. I love you guys so much. I know what this phase feels like. I know the weight, the strain, the stress, the pain. I know what it's like to have to learn this, and I am here to hold space for you. Thank you so much for allowing me to flow these energies and this message to you. Thank you for letting me be your messenger. I want to take this time to say thank you to your guides, my guides, the Great Spirit, for facilitating the connection between these energies and allowing them to flow through with love, honor, and understanding. Thank you so much. Pile 4, if this resonated and you guys would like to support my channel, awesome. You can do that by doing all the YouTube things. You can like, comment, share, subscribe. You can also comment or post on the community page on my channel. Any and all interactions is a collaborative effort between you and I to help this channel grow, but also to help these messages reach who they are meant for. I am ever so appreciative every time any one of you interacts with my readings and channel in any way, shape, or form. You guys are amazing. It's never expected, but always deeply appreciated. Now that I'm tripping over my words, I am going to call it a night. I love you guys all so very much, and I am so grateful for you all. I will see you at my next reading. Bye.